The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.
When you look at what's going on here in the United States with Zimmerman, for example, and you look at other issues, you have to ask yourself a question. I believe, who does this trace back to? Of course, we have the NSA, the IRS, all of these crimes, the NSA spying. At the end of the day, you've got to ask yourself, who. You've got to start somewhere, for example, and in an investigation, let's take a look at who is the face of power or who is in the White House. To that end, folks, I'd like to direct you to an article that I wrote at CanadaFreePress.com and HomelandSecurityUS.com, and I would urge anyone listening to this broadcast, if you want to comment on the article, please do so at CanadaFreePress.com. The article is, of course, who is Barack Hussein Obama, or is it Barry Soetoro? Now, it's going to seem like we're taking kind of a sidestep or a left turn here, but we're going to circle back around and connect all the dots. It was August of 2009, 4 full years ago, that Judy McLeod and I teamed up and released a statement from a very prominent national talk show host. In fact, the statement, the article about that, is linked within the article itself. You can read the article from August of 2009, where this prominent talk show host, who must go unnamed for now, was threatened not only with his career, but he felt fear. Well, he was threatened with his career and worse, making him believe that he feared for his life, or causing him to have a fear for his life. Obviously, after the cold case posse was formed at the request of the Surprise, Arizona Tea Party in right after its formation, we submitted the statement to Mike Zullo and Sheriff Joe Arpaio. They followed up. We also followed up. The bottom line is many radio talk show hosts, nationally syndicated, were warned off of talking about exactly who Barack Hussein Obama or Barry Soetoro is. Now, very quickly, and again, you can find this under the heading, who is Barack Hussein Obama, or is it Barry Soetoro? Folks, I would urge everyone to pass this information along. Okay, it's for a reason. We have to get, this has got to see some traction. And the reason is, if you answer that question, the other issues will become much clearer. Now, the question arises, or the article actually references a June 1st press conference held by Mike Zullo. Their final investigative report is going to be about 800 pages. This is what my understanding. In fact, I believe Mike Zullo had even said that on air during this press conference. But the important aspect of this is, number one, we have no clue who is in the White House. There are no authenticated documents to prove Barack Hussein Obama is who he says he is, let alone whether he's eligible for the office of the president. Number two, if that is the case, then exactly who is he answerable to? Why the hiding of this? What's being hidden? Well, obviously, the fact that this country has been taken over from within is what is being hidden, and his background and his identity and his bosses, that's the reason. That's what's being hidden. If you want to know why, for example, there's so much play on the Trayvon Martin murder, George Zimmerman murder trial, look at the agenda that is pushing this administration. If you want to know why there's discussion about killing the dollar, look at whose agenda we're following, who benefits, and how can this possibly take place in America. You cannot bomb America into submission because, of course, we've got a very strong military, but you can take it over from within. That's what's happening. So the Zimmerman trial to cause racial divide, the monetary killing of the dollar to cause social chaos, the the IRS crimes of going after political dissidents, all of these together will answer or are part of the larger puzzle as to who is running this country, who is actually running this country. Toss the NSA into this. The NSA is collecting not just metadata, not just times and dates of telephone conversations, but actual content based on keywords. Keywords that are affixed to political dissidents or political disagreement with the Obama agenda. Never before in the history of this country has this country experienced such a coup by the man claiming to be Barack Hussein Obama. Frankly, we don't know who the man is in the White House, and you might think that that statement is a totally off-the-wall, idiotic statement, but the fact of the matter is the birth certificate, for example, that's on the whitehouse.gov website, it's composed of 9 layers. There's evidence based on forensic analysis that this was done by human hands with intent to deceive, which by in and of itself is a felony. But ask yourself this: if it is a felony, and some younger person, I should say, used a manual typewriter, for example, to fill in some certain blanks on blanks that were created by erasing some data on the original document, meaning the birth certificate. I guess what I'm saying, it shows that the perpetrator, the person who created this false fraudulent document, was a younger person unfamiliar with typewriters. Why am I saying all this? Because there is enough evidence here to support not even a special prosecutor, not even grand jury, but RICO charges. We're talking about a RICO situation, organized crime situation. But once again, when I look at it, I look at the big picture. All of these parts are fit together. But at the very epicenter of what we're experiencing. And folks, didn't you write me? Didn't you write Joe? Didn't you write each other in the chat room about the feeling that you got on the 2012 election, or even the 2008 election, the spiritual darkness that descended upon us? Well, this is part of it. And if you really want to know the answer, I would urge everyone to please share that article from CFP, CanadaFreePress.com. Share the article from HomelandSecurityUS.com on all the social networking sites for 2 reasons. Number 1, to educate others. And number 2, you will see the cyber warriors being drawn out of the woodwork to attack this information. This article was written with the intent and timing. You notice I could have written this article on the 2nd of June, for example. I didn't do that. There's a reason for it. A reason for it coming out now. By posting it now and by circulating this article now, it will become clear, especially on the social networking sites, that the cyber warriors working for the Obama campaign will be identified. This is important ladies and gentlemen. This is extremely important. Not because of my name affixed to this article. The information is important because this will draw the enemy out. I can assure you of that. So if you get nothing else out of this hour, please share this article on Facebook, for example, social networking sites, Twitter, Google, the various search engines, whatever. Share this article because this will draw out the very people behind this. Now, part of that, once again, you're going to find an element there. In fact, I can guarantee you that the person and persons involved in the creation of this fraudulent document will be some of those responding to this article. This is one of those times when you can actually play a role into drawing out the very enemies that are within our country. Now, again, all of this fits together. You've got all of these things taking place right now domestically, and at the epicenter is Barry Soetoro. Who is he? Where are his papers? Who created that document? When was it created? And that is a very extremely important issue. So that's why, if you would find it, if you really want to assist the cause, spread this around, because I can guarantee you, like I said, you're gonna be able to identify the very people that we're talking about here and get answers to the various issues.
The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.